Bournemouth finished 14th place last year in the Premier League, but this year we're trying to make them the champions. Ranieri did it with Leicester, so why can't we? Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of Replicating Ranieri, a brand new Football Manager challenge on this channel, a brand new series in fact, and I can't wait to get straight into it. If you guys didn't see the last episode where we just went over the rules, there's a wee bit of a preview for this series. Click the iCard up above so that you know exactly what's going on, but I'll give you guys a quick refresher if you can't be bothered going back and watching that video. I know that you guys aren't clicking back and watching that video. So in this series, we are going to be taking over a new club every single season. It has to be a club in the top 5 leagues, and it has to be a team that finished 14th place or lower this season before we joined the club. The reason for this is because, as the name suggests, we are attempting to replicate what Claudio Ranieri did with Leicester City. He managed to come into a 14th place Leicester City squad and take them all the way to the top of the Premier League and win the title. So we are going to do exactly that. Well, try to do exactly that. We're starting off with Bournemouth because they came 14th in the Premier League last year, so we are going to try and take them to Premier League glory. If we don't manage to do it with them, we'll move on to a different club, maybe outside of the Premier League, maybe inside the Premier League. But as long as they've finished 14th place or lower, we are able to become the new manager. We're going to keep a leaderboard of how well we do for each squad and see which teams we came closest to winning the title with and which teams we didn't do so great with, because I'm expecting a lot of teams to not go quite perfectly in the grand scheme of this save. Let's meet the squad. I've already set up a bit of a tactics page for us, and in my opinion this is currently the best starting 11 that we have at our disposal. The things that I'm going to be looking for in the transfer market are going to be a new left winger, some midfielders, some wing backs, and a new goalkeeper. But honestly, if a new player comes up and I like him, I'm probably just going to sign him. We're looking for everything. We need a couple of star players to make sure that we can really challenge for some top places this year. An obvious star player for us is going to be Callum Wilson, such a great player in this year's Football Manager, actually such a star player in every single Football Manager I've played personally. Nathan Ake in defence and Fraser out on the wing, all brilliant players in our squad, and let's just hope that we can manage to keep a hold of them during this transfer window. But let's get straight into some business. I'm going to go out and do some transfer dealings, and I'll let you guys know when there's any sales or any purchases noteworthy. But before we do that, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode in this brand new series. I hope that you like the concept, and I hope that we can start the save well with a good season with Bournemouth. Our first business in the transfer market is going to be the sale of Jordan Ibe, a young man who got signed for about $15 million to Bournemouth in real life, but has never reached the potential that everyone thought he might be able to reach. So we're selling him on right now to try and make a bit of a profit and turn a little bit of money into our bank account so that we can go on and make some signings. As far as signings do go, we haven't made any right now. I've made a couple of offers for players. These are the players who are on my shortlist right now, and I fully admit that it is very underwhelming. I need to start scouting some better players right now and trying to find some absolute stars so that we can take this team to the next level. But so far no one's come up just yet, but I am certainly keeping my eye out, and I'll let you guys know if anything else happens. Our first signing of this Bournemouth Replicating Ranieri series is Nemanja Matic. He is a great player for us, and I am sure he will be able to start a lot of games and do some great defensive cover for our defence, because I think we're going to need a lot of it this year. He comes in on loan from Manchester United. We're only paying 48k per week, which isn't too bad, as well as a $12.25 million optional future fee if we want to activate it for next season. Although we won't be here next season, the next manager might appreciate that I added that wee clause. We've got our eyes on a couple of other people, so make sure you watch this space because we will be able to make some new announcements in the coming days. And there is that second signing. Okay, I know it's a weird one, but hear me out. Arda Turan has played for Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, and been a top quality player for both of those sides. His stats are incredible. I know that he's only got a 2.5-star current ability and he's 32 years of age, but for $1 million, worst case scenario, we don't use him very much and we just sell him during the January transfer window for a profit. I can't see a way that we lose with this deal. Best case scenario, he turns into an absolutely brilliant player for us, and worst case scenario, we just make a little bit of profit on a pretty useless player. Well, that went by fast. It is the transfer deadline day, and I know I haven't told you guys much about what's been happening. That's because not a lot has happened. I'll let you guys know about the transfers that have gone out since last time we met up. And the only thing we've seen is Sermon go. And apart from that, everything else has been covered. And now we have some deals to be confirmed going into this Premier League season on deadline day. Hendricks is the man that is going to be coming in, as well as a couple others. Didn't quite get to fully scout him, but his stats do look like they're in the right sort of range that I'm wanting right now. Probably not quite as attacking of a player as I wanted, but nonetheless still a really good midfield option and not too expensive, only $11 million, and I think that is money well spent. Welcome to the club, Hendricks. Our next one is going to be Jack Butland. We all know about Jack Butland. If you played FIFA 16 or 17, you will definitely know about Jack Butland because he was a beast in that game. But he is coming in from Stoke, who are all the way down in the Championship. Well, I say all the way down, only one league down, but not too bad. Certainly an improvement on Ramsdale. It was between him and Martinez from Arsenal, but I ended up going with Butland because of the price, the wage, and overall I think he is the best option. So welcome to the club, Jack Butland. And finally, this young man, Yasin Fortune, looks like a solid reserve / backup striker, might even be able to push for the first team if he does well enough for me. Got some good stats, hopefully he can do well. Coming in for only $3.3 million, I am glad to welcome him to the club. We'll just simulate forward one day so that we can see what the reaction from the fans is to those signings. Hendricks is only apparently a 3-star current ability, a B- rating from the fans, not too bad at all. Butland comes in with only 2.5-star current ability. I find that very difficult to believe because if we compare him with players such as Ramsdale, who is our best goalkeeper in the side, Butland absolutely dominates him on every single stat, so I don't think that is completely true, and I'm more than happy to have him in the club. Fortune, unfortunately, doesn't quite get confirmed because we didn't have the money in the old bank account to get it to go over the line, and I was expecting that, and that is why I confirmed that one as the last deal, just in case that sort of thing happened. He's a solid player, but I'm not too disappointed that we missed out on him, and Butland and Hendricks were the two ones I was really keen on getting. I'm not going to act like I did everything that I want to do in this transfer window, and I'm not going to act like our team is exactly where I want to be in our pursuit of challenging for some pretty high spots this year. But nonetheless, these are still some really good signings that we've made, and I don't know if we're done just yet. And there is that last signing that we are looking to make. Only a loan move, and a bit of an expensive loan move if I'm going to be honest. He could end up costing us about $4 million for the loan move, but I think it could be well worth it. A man that most of you will know about if you play Football Manager, a very good young-ish talent. I think he's going to come in as a great midfielder for us, well, a wide midfielder for us, and I think he'll do a great job for us out on that wing and add a little bit of quality and a little bit of competition into the squad. He comes in right now, and the fans seem pretty happy with that decision. I think that the 3-star current ability is a little bit harsh, and if you take a look at those stats, he does look like one of the best players in our side, and I'm very happy to bring him in. The transfer window has same shut, and the only thing that we did after the deal that you guys saw was sell Arthur Boric. He just wasn't going to get into the registered squad, so we sold him for a very, very cheap price just to get him off the wage bill. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how the team looks. If you take a look at it, we've got our Jamie Vardy, we've got our Riyad Mahrez, we've got a wee bit of a drink water sort of player, we've got our Huth and our Morgan. We've got a really good squad. Overall, I don't think you can complain with it. We've even got a bit of a Kante character in either Hendricks, Lerma, or even Matic, depending on who we decide to play. I think there's a lot of variety in the squad, and if one player's not playing well, I can certainly bring them out and bring in a new one. And I'm just hoping to get the season off to a great start with our first match of the season coming up straight away against Sheffield United. Hopefully we can start with all 3 points, and hopefully this team performs well. It's the opening day of the season, and I'm not going to lie, if we don't win this game, I may as well start scouting the rest of the world and seeing who is finishing in 14th place or lower, because if we can't beat Sheffield United at home, we definitely won't be competing for the league this year. This is the team that we are lining up with, a pretty strong 11, an 11 I'm very happy with, some great new signings, a couple of players out right now, not quite fully fit, including our young Zivkovic and a couple others that I would like to have featured in the starting 11, but unfortunately they're not there today and we'll have to make do. Right now I'm not quite ready to commit to starting Hendricks because of his overall condition. We want everyone to be fully fresh, fully fit, making sure that they're ready to play some football and win some games. Let's jump straight into this first game of the season and hopefully we can come away with all 3 points and start the season exactly the way we would want to. Sheffield United going in with a pretty solid squad. We've only got 2 debutants out here today, so that shows how quiet I have been in the transfer window. I'll tell you what, I'm so nervous for this match. I am not normally this nervous for games, especially the first game of the series. I'm just clicking random stuff. I don't normally have tunnel interviews on. Turn it on to the settings that I like. Let's move that up. Move that to key highlights only. Let's not mess around in this series. But yeah, no, I'm definitely way more nervous than I was for any of my other series. Because, this series relies on me actually being good at the game. And I'm actually not good at this game. It's kind of like asking someone to promote Sunderland. It just can't be done. I don't know how to win the league with Manchester United, nonetheless Bournemouth. We do have the first opportunity of the match though. Play it into Nemanja Matic, Lerma on the ball, playing it back to Matic. Smith on the ball, looking for a long shot, and what a way to start the season that would have been for Smith. Probably his only goal of the season it would have been, but nonetheless, it is good to see us creating chances straight off the bat and getting some opportunities up against a pretty weak Sheffield United squad, it has to be said. Although they did well in real life this season so far, they're probably not the best squad to come up against on Football Manager. And we do have an opportunity right here, right now. The King is offside. But again, promising signs. 16 minutes in, we've been dominating possession, we've been dominating the play, and surely a goal, and more chances are only going to come more and more. A clearance from Sheffield United manages to get them on the ball in the right sort of area, and it could be their first chance of the match. Opponent down the right wing, Moussa in the right area, and did that come off the crossbar? Because if so, I'm getting a little bit nervous in this game now. We've had 1 goal disallowed, and it looks like it might have given Sheffield United a bit of a motivation boost, because they're on 7 shots to our 5 now. And that's not the way things were going for the first few minutes of the game. I'm going to have to tell the boys that I'm not very happy with the way that they've played in this first half, despite the fact that they started so strongly. It's not been a great end to it. Second half rolls around and we have the first chance of it. Matic on the ball, playing it to Lerma. Have a shot from distance, my friend, and he does. Puts it into the back of the net, exactly what we want. Matic with an assist on his debut. Lerma with a good goal into the back of the net. And it is 1-0. Great stuff. Oh, it was definitely my aggressive talk at halftime that did that. Nothing else. Surely my tactical genius is coming into play, and you guys can see how good I am at this game, really controlling it. I know everything that happens. I know how to get the exact reaction out of my players that I want. And watch this, we're going to get another goal right here, right now. Fraser on the ball, playing it over to Cook to Daniels. Daniels looking for a ball into the middle, finds King, finds Wilson, but a good tackle does mean that it goes out of play. But, I'm just testing them, seeing how far they can go with the ball. I'm trying to give the opposition some warning signs and then eventually strike when they're not expecting it, You got to think about this kind of stuff in this game. It's a very realistic one. Sheffield United putting the corner into the middle, but it eventually gets cleared away, but they're still on the ball. Could be creating a chance here, unless we manage to get a tackle in, but it doesn't look like any of our players are quite good enough at defending to do that quite yet. Great clearance from Butland, but can't quite find anyone. Butland's still keeping a clean sheet in his first game of the season. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it and they don't come away with a goal from this chance here. Stevens running into the box, looks for a shot, but Butland with some absolutely brilliant hands, putting it over the bar, and it is out for a corner kick. Probably going to amount from nothing. We all know that Football Manager gives you those stupid highlights that you don't need to see, and that is exactly one of those. On the other side, we do have a corner now, but again, well collected by the goalkeeper, and Henderson might be able to start a counter-attack for this Sheffield United side. We managed to get the ball back though. Daniels on the ball, using his experience, and putting a great ball over to Callum Wilson. We need Callum Wilson to start scoring early on in the season. That would have been a great way for him to open his tally for the year, but he can't quite do it, and hopefully he does it in the next few games, because if he is scoring goals, we should be winning games. He is our best player by a mile, and he needs to lead from the front. The goal scorer Lerma is coming off, as well as Arda Turan coming on for Fraser. Two players who had very contrasting games so far. Fraser not doing much out on that wing, and Lerma unexpectedly coming away with the first and only goal in this game so far. Oh, don't jinx it, don't score here. Luckily it goes over everyone, and we might be the team to come away with a counter-attack. Turan on the ball, looking for a ball, King over to the side, and now he's going to look for a player into the middle. He does find Arda Turan at the back post, and oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, did I not say this man was going to be a great player for us? I think I did. I was questioning the purchase myself, but honestly, for $1 million right now, he is showing that was well worth it. Actually, if he does nothing for the rest of the season, I'll take that. $1 million for that, the first goal in the season, some confidence for the boys, definitely worth it in my books. I'll tell the boys that they did brilliantly in this first match. After that second half, after that talk in the first half, they did bounce back and play amazingly, and we're up in 4th place. I'm telling you, the title push is definitely on. That is where we're going to end this first episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode of this series. We upload daily Football Manager content on this YouTube channel, so don't miss out on any of it. If you like the transfers that I made, let me know in the comments section below, but more likely, if you didn't like them, make sure you let me know in the comments as well. I don't mind a bit of constructive criticism. There is plenty to dish out when I am the manager of a club. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around for the next episode, and I'll see you all later.